Hey guys, thank you for tuning into the By the Book Saturday Night Bible Study, where we will dig into the deeper meanings of the Word of God. 2 Peter 1:20 says, "Knowing this first, that no prophecy of the Scripture is of any private interpretation." So, to get deeper meaning, we will use the Scripture to interpret Scripture. We will build precept upon precept and line upon line, rightly dividing the word of truth. John 4:23-24 says, "But the hour cometh, and now is, when the true worshippers shall worship the Father in spirit and in truth. For the Father seeketh such to worship him. God is a spirit, and they that worship him must worship him in spirit and in truth." In order to worship the Father in truth, we need to know and understand the truth. Without the truth, we cannot worship the Father. Jesus is the way, the truth, and the life. We will get to the truth not by man's teachings, not by my opinions, but with the help of the Holy Spirit. We will get there by the book. Welcome. Oh, sorry, thank you. Appreciate that. Alright, let me start over because I shut the mic off when I do the intro because you can hear me over the intro. So I forgot to turn the mic back on. So let me start over. Welcome to this week's Bible study, where we are opening it up to a Q&A, which is something I've just recently started, and I've decided that once a month we will do a Q&A Bible study where I will have things to talk about if no one has questions to ask and if no one wants to know anything specifically. But I do want to open it up because I do know that my videos are deep and there's a lot of layers and depth to them, and that it can be confusing and there can be just things that come up. I mean, even when I'm making them, I have questions. So this is a time for people to ask questions about the Bible studies or about the videos, or to me personally, it doesn't really matter. But this is a time that's opened up for everybody. So as you can see on your screen, there is a picture of the flat earth. Now, I'll just move this chat box over to the side for a minute. So, this is a graphic design that was done by a guy named Adam. He used to do graphic design for video game companies, but then the Lord called him out of it because video games are wicked, and he was getting a lot of dark feelings, and he started to pursue the Lord because the Lord was calling him out. And so he found NYS TV. You guys might know them. John Pounders. He does Midnight Ride with David Carrico. Breaking Babylon with John Hall. But anyways, they hired Adam to do graphic designs and intros for their show. And I've actually spoken to Adam a little bit over the emails. And anyways, he made this graphic design by going through the scriptures and using biblical knowledge only. So anything the Bible said about the earth and how it looks and the creation that God made, Adam took from the Bible and created this image from it. So this has no other influences. This is all scriptural creation graphic design, which is why I wanted to share it. I have a huge poster of this in my living room because when I saw that he had made it, I thought it was just awesome. You can see that it has the pillars underneath. You can see that it has the four corners of the earth. You can see that it has the ice wall, which is called Antarctica, which I'll show you guys why that is. You can see up here the windows of heaven. Okay, this is where the rain and the lightning and all this stuff comes down from. You can see in the center, that's the Lord's holy mountain. Okay, they pretend on Google Earth that that is a empty space, just water, which it is not. There is a huge mountain there. And this is the Northern Lights, which is the angels standing at the gate of the garden with a fiery sword. So this is everything that you see here is what we're going to talk about today. So I just wanted to show you guys this right off the rip. Now I know that some of you might think that flat earth is crazy, but I really want to say to you that if you believe in God and you have faith in the scriptures, this is what the scriptures tell you the earth looks like. And I'm going to cover a few of them. And I'm just going to show you some images, some clips, some pictures. Most of the pictures I took myself because I like to try to wake people up to this. When I woke up to this, it was like the Lord handed me a key to truth. What I mean is that when I was able to wrap my head around the fact that I've been lied to and that I believe in this solar system, this globe, and all this space and endless thing, like when I was able to wrap my head around something that big being a lie, all the little deceptions just fell away. They just fell away. And so I want to try and reach you guys. For those of you who believe in it, that's great. Those of you that don't, well, you don't have to. I'm not trying to sit here and tell you that this is going to be a salvational issue. What I want to do is try to free your mind from this world, okay? We're supposed to be passing through the world, not of the world. So I want to show you what we're passing through, okay? Because the devil is not allowed to deceive us. This comes through not just in movies and music and stuff, but also in words, okay? The model that we believe in, or that we're taught, I'm going to pull up a web page now. So the model that we're taught is this. All right? This is what we're taught right here. This is called the heliocentric model, okay? All the worlds, okay, supposedly 8 planets, right? Yep, that's right. 8 planets wrapping around the sun like a portal, okay? And flying through space. Now, don't forget that the sun is also orbiting. Now, this is the narrative, not my belief. But the sun is orbiting the black hole. So not only are the planets spinning around the sun at ridiculous speeds through space, but the sun is also spinning around the outside of the galaxy on the tip of a wing of the Milky Way, traveling around a so-called black hole. So this is what people believe. This is what they want you to believe. Now, as I said, It's called the heliocentric model. Okay? Helios is the sun. Now, if you take that word and separate it from the rest, it's heliocentric. All right? It's a sin. It's tricking you into believing in this Helios model, the sun god. It's a heliocentric model. Get it? Now, another name that it's known by is the solar system. Okay? The solar system. Because it pulls you away from God. It lures your soul into deception. All right? So, this is what we're supposed to believe. And as a matter of fact, for a long time, I did believe this. But now that I know the truth, I can see the ridiculousness of this. And I'm going to show you all kinds of cool stuff today. So I hope you're ready, because this is going to be a little different than the rest. Alright? So the first thing I guess I want to show you guys is I have a few videos of mine pulled up. Okay, this one's great. So I have some things just to ask you guys questions to get you to think outside of the realm, mostly for people who don't believe in God's creation, the flat earth, or believe that the Bible is incorrect. Oh, you know what? Let me start there. Let me pull it up. I got it right here. Sorry. All right. So, a lot of people will say, when in Isaiah it says that he sitteth upon the circle of the earth, that tells us it's a globe. Okay? But this is Isaiah 40. And it clearly says the circle of the earth, which is not a three-dimensional thing. It's a circle. Okay? Now, they knew what a globe was. They knew what a ball was, but they wrote circle of the earth. If you go back a few chapters into Isaiah 22, you can clearly see that in verse 18. He will surely violently turn and toss thee like a ball. Okay, so it's not like they didn't know the difference between a ball and a circle. So the confusion there, it's understandable, but I'm trying to show you that they knew the difference between a ball and a circle. Okay? So I want to show you now. I'm going to skip around a little bit because I have really no particular order. I'm just going where the Lord leads me. So this is a video I posted a while back. Most of these videos are from over a year ago. And this is just a little short. So I'm going to play it. Hopefully the sound will come through. Let me adjust this so I can see if it's coming through. And we'll take a look at it. It's less than a minute, and then we'll talk about it. That moon? Watch this. I'm going to zoom out a little bit just so you can see it's all in one frame. Ready? See that sun? Okay. See the moon? Okay, you see there's nothing at all in between the sun and the moon. Nothing at all, right? Obviously the sun's way up there. The moon's right up there. So tell me this, if there's nothing at all in between them, what's making the shadow? Okay, now the whole purpose of this video is because all throughout school and teaching us and science and everything we're made to believe, the shadow is caused by the earth blocking out some of the sun reflecting off the moon. So the earth is in the way Okay, this is science. This is what we're taught in school. Now, I just showed you that there was nothing in between the sun and the moon, yet here we have a half a moon. So if this is reflecting sunlight, then it should be a full moon. We should see a complete circle, but we don't. We only see a half of a moon. And I asked, what's making the shadow? And I got to show you guys, this is my absolute favorite comment. This kid says, the earth, fool. Okay? Like, this is how thick the veil is, you guys. I just showed you that, and this person in particular, I just showed him that there's nothing in between the sun and the moon. And here he is saying that the earth is making the shadow on the moon. Okay, that's not even possible. It's not even in the realm of possibility. Even this person here says the shadow is caused by the sun shining on the moon's half surface. And the angle that we, Earth, views it, we can see the dark shadow side of the moon. See, none of this stuff makes any sense. This is not scientific. This is speculation and trying to make sense out of the truth I'm showing. Because they're having cognitive dissonance because they don't know what to believe anymore. Because what I'm showing them is outside the realm of their belief system. Let's see, what's this one? You guys have probably seen the video that I put up of Bill Nye saying that you cannot leave the earth, which is right here. It's only 44 seconds, so I'm just going to play this real quick.
Now, one thing I really want your generation to embrace is that the earth is a closed system. We cannot leave the earth. There's no place to go. Now, one thing I really want your generation to embrace is that the earth is a closed system. The earth is a closed system. The earth is a closed system. We cannot leave the earth. We cannot leave the earth. There's no place to go. There's no place to go. There's no place to go. The earth is a closed system. We cannot leave the earth. The earth is a closed system. There's no place to go.
Okay, and yes, I made him repeat himself a few times, but trying to make the point, there is no place to go. Okay, there is, as I showed you in this picture, there is a firmament over the earth. Okay, this is why rainbows are bows. Okay, because it's the sun reflecting off of the firmament. Okay, a prism reflecting back into 7 rays, right? Because that's what happens to light. When it goes through a prism or refracts, it breaks up into 7 rays. This is the rainbow, and it's shaped like a bow because of the firmament. Okay, and I'm going to show you other things that also show you this. But one for sure that you can definitely see is all the rocket launches. Have a look. See how they're all arced? Okay, this is because they're being shot into the ocean, into a place called Nemo's Circle, or the Circle of Nemo, or whatever it's called. Okay, this is a rocket dumping ground. There are hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of rockets in the Circle of Nemo because it's out in the middle of nowhere and where nobody can see them landing, so that NASA can continue to lie to you, so they can continue to get $56 million a day to deceive the world. Okay? But this is why the rockets are arced, because they have to stay underneath the firmament. Now, of course, they have excuses for why they launch it like this, and they tell you it's to put it in orbit, but the truth is that it's the firmament, and that is why they arc, because they cannot hit the firmament or the rocket will bounce off of it. So this is more proof of the firmament. Now, let's see. So, we're going to look at... Oh, we already did that. So, I wanted to do a little test. Okay, so I asked it, on a clear day, how far can you see from the top of Mount Washington in New Hampshire? Okay, it's a 6,288 foot summit, and it says that you can extend beyond New Hampshire. You can see to Vermont, you can see to New York, you can see to Massachusetts, you can see to Maine, Quebec, and the Atlantic Ocean. Well, since all measurements are done off of sea level, I decided to see if we could see the Atlantic Ocean. So, here's what I'm going to show you. You can see here that it's 6,288 feet tall. Okay, this is the Earth curve calculator. So, eye height. Okay, that's how high you're going to be up. So I wrote 6,288, just like it said. 6,288. It says you can see for 130 miles. So I wrote target distance, 130 miles. Okay, and I don't have to put in any other measurement because I'm looking from the top of the mountain to the ocean. I want to see at sea level 130 miles away, okay? So those are the numbers. You plug it in, it calculates. So, eye height, okay? That's represented by HO, okay? That's right here. So here we are at HO. I'm keeping it this way. You have to look at the bottom. Let me move the chat box over. And you know what? I'll just scoot this down just a scooch so we can see. All right, now you guys can see better. All right. So HO is the eye height. Okay, so right here. So we're on the Earth. This is the mountain. Okay, this is the 6,288 foot spot right here at this dotted line. Okay, so it's telling us that the target distance is 130 miles away, which is over here. Okay, H1. Target distance, target hidden height. Okay, see, so H1 is the target. So this is the ocean that I want to see. Now D1 is the horizon distance. So from the top of the mountain, 97.11112 miles away, I'm seeing the horizon, okay? So that is as far as I can see with the Earth curve. Okay, so now, but what I want to see is 130 miles away, and I want to just see sea level, right? Because it said you can see the Atlantic Ocean. Well, if you go over here to H1, which is the target distance, 130 miles away from the 6,288 foot peak of the mountain, it says that you cannot see the target because it is 721 feet below the curve of the Earth. So tell me this. If it's 721 feet below the curve of the Earth, how is it possible that they can see the Atlantic Ocean on the globe? As you can see here, I've just shown you that that's impossible. Yet, they can see it, which means that the Earth is not a globe. Let me see here. I want to show you. All right, I'm not going to watch this. As a matter of fact, we'll just shut the sound down here. And I'm just going to skim through this. This is a video I did years ago. Let's see, is this bigger? Oh, I don't know what this is. All right. But I was trying to show people how this world is a demonic lie. So I'm going to show you. All right. So this is the heliocentric model. Okay, this is what it's all based off of. So in the heliocentric model, the Earth orbits the Sun at 666 or 66,600 miles per hour. Okay, that's pretty fast. The curvature of the Earth is 1 mile squared. 0.6 of 1 mile squared is 0.666 feet. The Earth's axis, aka the tilt, is 23.4 degrees, which is 66.6 degrees. The Arctic pole is 66.6 degrees north. The Antarctic pole is 66.6 degrees south. Earth's axis of rotation around the Sun is 66.6 degrees. Now, this is all stuff that is in the narrative, okay? I looked and researched all this stuff. This is just the beginning. Alright, so let me scroll out. I'm just trying not to play it so we don't have to waste too much time. We could just skip ahead. So obviously, 6 plus 6 plus 6 is 18. Alright. The distance to the nearest galaxy is 11.7 million light years away. 11 and 7, 18. The nearest solar system, star Gliese, is 15.3 light years away. 15 plus 3, 18. Earth's orbit speed around the Sun is 108,000 kilometers an hour. Remove the zeros, 18. Earth to Mars, 150 to 300 day journey. Cancel zeros, 15, 3, 18. Okay? This is the solar system, the heliocentric. This is the sin that's involved in the trick. Don't ask me how they figure out how Neptune's clouds orbit, but they orbit at 18 hours to orbit. The moon was formed 4.6 billion years ago. That's 30 to 50 million years after the solar system was formed. 4 plus 6 plus 3 plus 5 is 18. 18 confirmed new worlds outside of our solar system. Okay, Pluto, 18% the mass of our moon. Pluto's distance changed from 7.3 billion to 4.4 billion. If you add these numbers up, 7 plus 3 plus 4 plus 4, you get, that's right, 18. Pluto's moon, Charon or whatever it's called, is an eighth the size of Pluto, 1/8. Newest planet discovered, 2016, Proxima b, 4.22 light years away. 22, that should say, 22 minus 4, yeah, that's 18. Solar system travels 828,000 kilometers per hour. 8 plus 2 plus 8 is 18. Sun formed from a nebula 4.59 billion years ago. 4 plus 5 plus 9 is 18. The Milky Way is moving towards Centaurus at a speed of between 150 and 300 miles per second. 15 plus 3, 18. Alright, so we all get the point. And this was, I made this, yeah, as I said, I made it last year. So let me move the chat box back over here in case anybody wants to chat. So, do you guys think that this could be a coincidence? Or does this seem like this is all made up because this is Satan's world? These are the warnings. Satan cannot deceive us, but you have to look for the truth. You have to be open to believing the truth. And so when you look into this, all these numbers say 666, 666, 666. So we got to do our due diligence and trust what we're seeing here, because this is how we know that it is a lie. Okay? The numbers are how we tell the enemy. So let me show you guys some pictures that I took and I made. All right. So this is a picture of the sun behind clouds, and I took it because of the rays. You can see the sun rays. So you can tell about the sun by triangulation, right? So I made some graphic design for you guys so that I could show you this. And so I'm going to show you about triangulation, and then we'll come back and look at the edit I did on this picture. All right, so I don't know why Adobe Illustrator cut off the bottom half of this, but it did. It doesn't really matter. So obviously my sun and moon or my sun and earth are not up to scale. Okay, the sun is way bigger than the earth, supposedly. So this is just going to give you an idea. So what I'm about to show you means that it will be even more ridiculous because the sun is so much bigger, according to their belief. Okay, so we all know what triangulation is, right? So if the sun is going to triangulate over to the earth, it will look like this. Okay, this will be triangulation. This is how you figure out where something is. Okay, especially a point of light. You see the rays and you trace the point of light and you can see where the triangulation is. So here's the earth, and when you triangulate it, you will see that it goes way outside of the whole earth, right? It covers the whole, it would cover like 40 earths in a row. So now you see this line here. This shows you, let me see here. This shows you where on the earth the sun will hit. So if the sun is way out here and its path of triangulation is going to way supersede past the edges of the earth, one whole half of the earth is going to be hit by the sun at the same exact time. Okay? This is actual science, just FYI. So, if the actual science says that the sun, being 93 million miles away, which is obviously a lie, that it is going to light up half of the entire earth. Okay? Now, if it's going to light up half of the entire earth, then we should triangulate the light off of the earth, which would put the sun right here. Because if you triangulate off of the earth, it will put the sun right here. So, that breaks this lie wide open. Okay? Wide open. So, if this is, and I just want to add this in, the sun does not light up half of the earth at once. It lights up a section. How big? I don't know. But not the whole earth. Okay, it lights up about 12 hours of it probably. Maybe, I don't even know. But it's not out in space, so it could light up 12 hours, 14 hours, doesn't matter because it's way closer than you think. So I just wanted to show you about triangulation. Okay, because even this is completely wrong because the earth is bigger than the sun. All right, so let me shrink these down and come back here. So see the rays of light, okay? Now remember, according to the narrative, the sun is going to hit half of the earth all at once. All right? So I did this little design and you can see. Let me see if I zoom in a little bit. You can see that I'm following the rays of light. See the angles of the light? I'm following the rays. which puts the sun right here. Not out in space, right here, right above us. Okay? You can see the triangulation. This is actual science. You can see the triangulation, which shows you that the sun is underneath the firmament. It's right here above us. It's not out in space. If it was, you would not see these rays, okay? Because the sun would be beaming down on the whole earth, and there would not be, or the whole half of the earth, and there wouldn't be triangulation rays. There might be rays coming through the cloud, but they'd be all going in the same direction because the light source is far away. But since we can triangulate it right underneath these clouds, then we know that the light source is right here. Okay, let me see. I got to click out of my folder here. So, yes, I want to show you. All right, I could probably just click to the side. So here you can see a little rainbow, and this is a sundog. You can see this arc. Okay, let me see. Well, we'll get back to the arcs. I got more sundogs. All right, but let's have a look at this. So this is a picture of some crooked chemtrails. I don't even know how they made these. All right, but what you're seeing right here is a shadow from the cloud. Now, if the sun is out in space, let me see if I can pull that one up real quick. Okay, if the sun is out in space, hitting the whole side of the earth, then any shadow any cloud or any shadow made by a cloud is going to come down onto the surface of the earth, okay? Just like the clouds make shadows on the ground, every single shadow would have to be on the ground, okay? It would never be up on the sky because the sun was over here. No, because it's lighting up half of the earth from the edge. So, if you can see the shadow, that means that the sun, the light source, is over here, making a shadow of the chemtrails up onto the other clouds, because the sun is not in space, it's over here. Okay, it has gone across the horizon. So if it wasn't, and it was in space, this shadow would not be right here. It would be down on the ground because the light source is coming from outside of the earth. But obviously, it's not. Oh yeah, here's the guy who invented rockets and said we're going to go to Mars and we're going to go to space. And this is Werner von Braun's gravestone, okay? And it says Psalms 19:1. Okay? Let's go look that up. I mean, I know what it says, but we'll go look it up just so that we can show you. Psalms 19:1. This is the guy who said that we can go to space. The heavens declare the glory of God, and the firmament showeth his handiwork. So, Werner von Braun, the guy who said that we can go to Mars and go to space and built rockets and said we're going to the moon, all this other stuff, right here on his tombstone, says that the firmament shows his handiwork. The firmament that we cannot escape, okay? So, I guess I should see if anybody's talking. Alright, nobody's talking. I don't even know if anybody's watching. I'm sure my mom is, but... Alright. So, this is a sundog. What you're seeing here is the reflection of the sun off of the firmament breaking up into the 7 rays. I think here's a better picture. I got a few pictures of this. Okay, this is called a sundog. This is the reflection of the sun off of the firmament. And you can see it's breaking up into the different rays of light. Here's a double rainbow. Okay, I took all these pictures, by the way, so it's not like I made them up or I looked for them. So these pictures, you can see here a double rainbow. This is the sun reflecting off of the firmament, passing through the rain and refracting. This is why it's shaped like a bow, okay? Because there's a firmament. Oh, was just a massive. Look at all the chemtrails. I was just watching these things go. All right. Here's another few pictures that show you a shadow of a chemtrail. Okay, you can see here's the chemtrail, and up above it is the shadow. Let me go back to this one here. The only way for a cloud to make a shadow on the cloud above it is if the light source is coming from below it or at a different angle, but not from above. The only way, if it was coming from above, out of space, which it would be on the ground and not on the clouds. Here's some chemtrails with another sundog. You can see the rainbow colors are really vivid in this one. Okay. Let's see. Now, I want to shrink that, close this. I want to, what else do I got here? Alright, so, I told you about the ice wall, okay? I told you that it's Antarctica. This is one of the first videos I ever made. This was one of the first 10 that I put on YouTube. And what this is showing you is how they change flat Earth into a globe. And they do it just by the compass. And so you're going to see how the ice wall creates Antarctica, and it will make sense to you. This is less than a minute long. Let's have a watch. If you take a compass and a magnet and you put it on the Earth like this, you'll see that the compass goes to the north. This is the ice wall that goes around the Earth. And you'll see that no matter where you are on the Earth, that if you go south, you're going to hit the ice wall. No matter where on the Earth you are. This is how they do the trick. This is how it's done. This is how they trick you that it's a globe. So here's the kicker. Watch this. If I get rid of that, get this ball, put this on here, squish it around, Antarctica. So I just see you guys chiming in. Okay, I'm glad you guys are here. Thank you for chiming in. Appreciate it. So, as you can see, that no matter where the compass is, because magnetic north, okay, that's everything leads to God. He is the center of everything. Okay, magnetic north, that's magnetism is God pulling us towards Him. Okay, so what we're seeing here is that no matter where you go south, you're always going to end up at the ice wall. So if you're in Africa right here, and you're like, oh, I'm going to go to Antarctica, and you sail south till you hit the ice, you'll be in Antarctica. If you're over here on the west coast and you go south, then you're going to be in Antarctica. There is no Antarctica. It's an ice wall. Okay? But no matter where you are on the earth, if you're traveling from north to south, you are going to hit the ice. This is why the nations went there and declared a treaty between themselves that no one is allowed to go there, because Satan controls the governments, and they all made an agreement to keep everybody away from the ice wall and away from the North Pole. This is why if you go on Google Earth and try to look at the north, you will just see empty space. It will look like just an ocean there, because they don't want people to know. All right? And how do we learn about all this stuff? How do we learn about space? Okay? From NASA, right? Oh, so I wanted to show you this video. Where is it? Oh, what did I do? Close it? I don't think I even have it open. Shoot. Well, I thought I did. Let me see. Well, that really stinks. Oh, maybe this is it. No, this is about the planets. Alright, well, I did look it up. So, planet is used one time in the Bible. Okay? And it is right here. This is 2 Kings 23:5. Okay, now, NASA wants us to believe that we live on a planet. Okay, and that we're one of 8 planets. Okay? But we're not a planet, and neither are the lights in the sky. So I'm going to show you and give you scriptural proof for all these things. So in 2 Kings it says, them also burn incense unto Baal, to the sun, to the moon, and to the planets, and to all the hosts of heaven. Alright, so if we look this up, it's 4208 Mazzalah. Okay? So look up 4208 Mazzalah. Constellations, perhaps signs of the zodiac. Okay, so constellations, zodiac signs. This is what was meant by the word planets. Now, if we look up the word planet and check its etymology, okay, because you can see that they were sacrificing to all these things, the sun, the moon, the planets, the host of heaven, burning incense to Baal. So this is, well, I guess you can just see here. This is the etymology for the word planet. Okay? So we're going to scroll down here. I don't know why there's all this dead space. So the etymology for planet in ancient Greek is planeo. Okay? Wander about and stray. Alright? Because there's stars in the sky, but the planets, they wander about. So if we look up planeo in Strong's, okay? Planeo, it means to cause to wander, lead astray, deceive, cause to wander. I really got to pull up this NASA video, you guys. I don't know why it's on here. I must have closed it, or maybe I used one of these things to do it. So I hope you'll be patient with me. But to go astray, to deviate from the correct path, to be misled. This is what planet means. Okay, planet means to deviate from the correct path, to be misled, to go astray. Okay, zodiac, to deceive. Okay, to wander. This means to go far from God, to get away from the Lord. This is not what we want to do. This is what the word planet means. So we, I guess in a sense, live on a planet because this is Satan's world. And his world is causing us to wander. It's deceiving us. It's misleading us. It's making us deviate from the correct path. Okay, people are believing in the heliosin trick. Okay, they're not following the Lord's creation. They're being pulled into the solar system. It's a huge deception. And if you'll be wicked patient with me, I'm going to just look this up real quick. It'll only take a second, I promise. Let's see. I just got to go to the studio and then I can search my own channel. All right. Ooh. Here we go. All right. See, that wasn't too long. Oh, that's not the one I wanted. Oh, please be patient. I'm really sorry. I'm trying to do this. H53. What? That is definitely not the one, but I guess this will do because it's this. It has strongs in it. The online they've changed this, so it's no longer. Um, it's no longer. Do I show it in here? I'm sorry, I haven't watched this in like forever. It's no longer NASA. Now it's NASA. All right. So I don't even know. I can't hear anything in here. I don't know how to speed this up. So I guess that's a botch. So what I'll do is I will go to H5377. So let me just do a search real quick. H5377, because I want you guys to see this. Alright, so this one seems like... Alright. Oh, yeah, here's the change. So you can see here that H5377 is NASA, okay? You can see that Strong's Hebrew changed it to Nasha. Now, watch this deception right here, okay? Because once this started coming out into the open, they were really quick to change this. So this is supposed to say NASA, okay? And look what they say it means: to lend on interest, to be a creditor. This is not what this means, okay? You want to come down here and look. This is what it means. And if you scroll down a little further, you can see beguile, deceive. All right? To lead astray, to delude, or morally to seduce, to beguile, deceive greatly and utterly. Now, doesn't this sound just like the definition for planet? Right? In Strong's. Cause to wander, deceive, to go astray. These are Satan's lies. Okay? And if we see in Kings, we'll go back there for a quick second because I want to show you something in the book of Jude and in the book of Enoch. That they burned incense to Baal, to the sun, to the moon, to the planets, to all the hosts of heaven. All right? So they're worshiping these things in space. And before I go to Jude, I will read you, before I go to Enoch, I will read you Jude, because Jude mentions Enoch. All right, and the angels, which kept not their first estates, but left their own habitations. Okay, these are the angels that came down and mated with the human women and gave birth to giants. He hath reserved in everlasting chains under darkness unto the judgment of the great day. Wandering stars, to whom is reserved the blackness of darkness forever. And Enoch also, the seventh from Adam, prophesied of these things, saying, Behold, the Lord cometh with 10,000 of his saints, to execute judgment upon all, and to convince all that are ungodly among them of all their ungodly deeds which they have ungodly committed, and of all their hard speeches which ungodly sinners have spoken against him. These are murmurers, complainers, walking after their own lusts, and their own mouths speaking great swelling words, having men's persons in admiration because of advantage. So these lights, these wandering stars, to whom is reserved the blackness of darkness forever, which is the angels who kept not their first estate. Okay? So, in the book of Enoch, we read this in one of the recent videos, but we will touch base again. Enoch says, "And beyond that abyss I saw a place which had no firmament of heaven above, and no firmly founded earth beneath it. There was no water upon it, and no birds, but it was a waste and horrible place. I saw there 7 stars like great burning mountains. These are the planets." Okay? Leading people astray. "And to me, when I inquired regarding them, the angel said, This is the place for the end of heaven. This has become a prison for the stars and the hosts of heaven. And the stars which roll over the fire are they which have transgressed the commandment of the Lord in the beginning of their rising, because they did not come forth at their appointed times. These are your wandering stars." Okay, these are the 7 planets that are in the sky, and we know that planet means to deceive. There's your deception. "And he was wroth with them and bound them." Okay, they're bound. They wander, but they're stuck in the abyss. They can't get out. And they wander and they lead men astray, till the time that their guilt should be consummated, even for 10,000 years. And Uriel said to me, "Here shall stand the angels who have connected themselves with women, and their spirits, assuming many different forms, are defiling mankind, and shall lead them astray into sacrificing to demons as gods." Okay, what did we just read in 2 Kings? That they burn incense unto Baal, to the sun, to the moon, to the planets, and all the hosts of heaven. Okay, so they're mistaking these planets as gods, just like the book of Enoch says, just like Jude said. All right, so understand that NASA is here to deceive us. Let me see. Yeah. I'm going to go back and I'll click on a different link just so we can see it say actually NASA and not Nasha. All right, here you go. Look. NASA. Okay, but what Blue Letter Bible did, or Bible Hub did, is changed it to say Nasha. Now, I wish I had that video pulled up because I showed you my book. And in my book it says NASA. And online it says Nasha. Alright, but anyways, NASA means to deceive greatly, beguile, seize utterly, to deceive, to lead astray, to delude, to morally seduce. Alright, this is what NASA means. Not a space agency or national aeronautics something or other. That's not what it stands for. This is what it means. This is like watching the movies, right? And how I show you how the things are hidden in the movies. The same thing applies to this world. Okay, there's things that are hidden in this world in plain sight, just like that's hidden in the movies in plain sight. But until we can accept the truth, and until we know how to spot these things, or until they're pointed out to us, we don't see them. Okay, because they're behind the veil. So once these things are brought to our understanding, then we can see them everywhere. And so this is just like the movies. NASA really means to lead astray, to deceive. And that's exactly what they're doing. They're deceiving everybody. Okay? And they're deceiving them by telling them that we live on these planets and we're one of many planets, which also means to deceive everybody. I hope you guys are seeing what I'm showing you, because this is absolutely bananas. All right. So we did Satan's World. That's my live stream. All right. So this is a good one. All right. We'll get rid of this. I'm trying to, so I can see the end of them. So flight times. Now, I just want you guys to use your minds. Obviously, hey, and welcome. So, I know you all use your minds. I shouldn't have said it that way. But I want you to think outside the box, especially if you have a hard time believing in flat earth. Now, I'll look it up real quick so you guys can see it. All right. So we're going to ask, how fast does the Earth orbit? Right? Because we want to know these things because this is important. Right? This is important. So how fast does the Earth rotate? All right. So, oh, look at this. Huh. This is how fast it's going around the sun. 66,060. See this? I'm telling you guys, this is craziness. It's all 666s. Everything is 66666. It's nuts. I guess I should write wrote spin, I guess. I don't know. It's giving me like the wrong measurements. All right. So I don't know. We'll just go ahead and click one of these and see if we could tell us. How fast does the Earth spin? 24 hours. That's what I want to know. So how many miles per hour? Okay, apparently they don't want to tell us. So I'll just write how many miles per hour does the Earth spin? Yeah, that's better. Here we go. How many mph? I don't want to know that. Okay, how much it goes around the Earth. See, they know what. Oh, here we go. The planet is spinning at 1,037 miles per hour. All right. So let's put that on a notepad. Oops, this is not a notepad. Here we go. All right. So I'm just taking notes so you guys we can keep track. That's all. I just want to keep track. All right. So 1,037 miles per hour, right? Now, this is all important to what I'm going to show you. All right? What are the fastest planes? All right, so the 10 fastest planes in the world. Okay. Well, we want passenger planes, not super high-tech aircraft fighting machines. Passenger. No, it doesn't orbit. You're right. But some people don't know these things. So I'm just trying to break through the veil. Okay, that's what this is all about. A lot of you guys already know this. But a lot of people don't understand it. And as I said at the beginning of the video, when I came to understand God's creation, it was like God handed me a key to deception. Like once I was able to wrap my head around the fact that I believed that the earth was what it wasn't and believed in space, like once that deception fell away from my mind, I was able to see through all kinds of things because I didn't take anything for my past belief system anymore. So this is a great way to start seeing through the veil, to start seeing through the matrix, because if you can accept this, then you can accept anything. All right. So here's the top 9 fastest, okay? So here we have, and nobody's riding on these puppies. Let me rest assured, okay? So number 9, the Boeing 747. Okay, 614. And number 3 is the Boeing Dreamliner. So apparently they have these two planes that I've never heard of, but apparently they are super fast and can go. So, but these are ones that people fly on, okay? So, what I want you to know is that 760, 776, and 614. Let's just put that on the notepad. All right. So 776. Now we can see these ones go faster than the Earth spins, so that's great. But most planes do not. So most planes, and this is a big plane that lots of people will take. But so we'll go with 776 because I want to show you what's going on here. Alright, this is a plane. Alright, so this is the Earth's spin. Here, let me make this a little bigger for you guys. Alright, now, if you're traveling from... I had that one open too, didn't I? Yeah, flight times. So if you're traveling from one place to another, when you leave the Earth, okay, now this is, I'm talking about if you're on a spinning globe. Now, if you leave the Earth and go straight up into the air, and you just hover above the Earth, according to the narrative, you should just be able to hang out up there for a little while, and when you come back down, you'll be in a different place, according to the narrative. Let's just take a few minutes, because I tried to look this stuff up, you guys, today, but I made this video almost 2 years ago, this flight times video, and I'll tell you what, I was looking through today, and they've made changes. Now, they're not huge changes. I'll show you right now so you can see what I'm talking about. Alright? So, if you want to fly, and I did a long flight, so we're talking from JFK to Singapore. Now, see how they say you fly over the North Pole? But they don't ever do that. You're not supposed to. So, but I was just doing this because this was like what I was doing is seeing what the longest one-way, non-stop flight is. Okay? And this apparently is it. JFK. I think I did, yeah. Top 10 longest non-stop flights in the world. So this is the one. JFK, Singapore to JFK. So, if you're going to Singapore, which way is this going? Sorry. If you're going from Singapore to JFK, it's going to take you 18 hours in 5 minutes non-stop flight. Okay? One way. Now, logic would tell you, if the world is spinning, that one way is going to be shorter than the other by quite a lot. So as you can see, this is 18 hours and 5 minutes. This is 18 hours and 35 minutes going from JFK to Singapore. Now, granted, a half an hour, that's really nothing. But they are trying to hide this deception. You can see here that this is a Google search. And so they are trying to hide this deception. So I just want to click this video on real quick because this is before they started to change everything, and there is some good information I put in this video. So what I want to show you is 5 minutes long. Let's check it out.
Hey guys, so today I wanted to go over something with you. Might be
You can tell it's mad old because I'm sitting down in the corner. And I have that satanic Yeshua hoodie on.
old hat to some of you guys. But to a lot of people, they're just waking up. And so I just want to get a record of all this information on my channel so that people can navigate their way through all the deceptions that are being laid out before us. Alright, so this one I wanted to come on here real quick and talk a little bit about the shape of the Earth and flight times and why. Alright, so the first thing we're going to know, we're going to use New York and London just as easy transport places. So the flight distance from London to New York is 3,471 miles. So we'll just call it 3,500 miles for memory's sake. Takes about 7.5 hours. Alright, so now we're going to go in and figure out which way does the Earth spin, right? Because if the Earth spins in one direction or the other, then technically one-way flight should be longer than the other way. Alright, because one way you're going to have to be chasing down the Earth. So the Earth rotates from west to east. Right here you see that. So west to east, so that means New York is going to be where London is. It's going to just spin in that direction. So basically, the trip from London to New York should be shorter because the Earth is spinning in favor of that direction of flight. Right? So let's go in and we'll see how fast the Earth spins. Alright, right here you see it spins at 1,037 miles per hour. Let me just be very clear. This is not what I believe. I'm just showing you the deception. The easiest way you can see it. Alright? So we got 1,000 miles an hour the Earth spins. Okay? And we're taking a 3,500 mile trip. Alright? So the fastest planes in the world. Here's a Boeing Dreamliner. Look at that. 600 miles per hour. Okay? Let's go down here. This one's a little quicker, a little more personal. 667 miles per hour. 679 miles per hour. 683. You guys get the point. None of these planes fly as fast as the Earth spins. You get that? No plane does. Okay. So how long is the flight then? From New York to London. Oh, look at this. 7.5 hours from JFK to land in London. So then it must be what? 2 hours to fly from London to New York, right? Because the Earth is spinning underneath you while you're flying. At 1,000 miles an hour, the Earth is spinning, so you're making up some serious time. Wait a minute. 7.5 hours from London to New York? How is that even possible? So let's see what we got here. Let's see. So we got the Earth spins at 1,000 miles an hour. Okay? And the fastest plane, we'll give them 700, alright? So the fastest plane, that leaves us 300 miles that we're losing every hour. So by this math, it would be impossible for a plane to fly from New York to London and ever get there without the Earth spinning all the way around first underneath the plane and putting London right underneath it. Otherwise, that plane could never catch the Earth. It could never catch London. And London's flight should be like a half an hour. I mean, the way they do this math, the way they think about it, you should just be able to shoot yourself up straight for a minute for about a half an hour and then come back down and you'll be in New York. Does that sound right to you? Does that sound true? Does this seem logical? Listen to me. I know a lot of you know this, but the Earth is not a globe. It's not spinning. These are all lies. And here you can see. Just go do some investigation yourself. You'll find all kinds of stuff. Dig, dig, dig. The truth is out there. All right? God bless.
All right. So this was before they decided to change all the flight times and make it more confusing. So I'm glad I made this video a long time ago so that you could see that the exact same time it takes to go one way, it takes to go the other way, which would be impossible on a spinning globe. Now, for people that think that maybe the globe is real, I just want you to go ahead and do this. Especially if you got children, this will be real fun. Alright, I want you to take a stick or like a dowel and get a styrofoam ball and put it on top of the stick so that you can spin the ball with the stick, by moving your hands back and forth, like if you were going to try to start a fire. you can spin that ball with the stick. And then I want you to cover the ball with paint, wet paint, to represent the ocean. And when you spin it, all the water should stick to the ball, right? Or what do you think will happen when you spin that ball? Because I'll tell you what, if you think it's going to stick, you're going to have a big mess to clean up. Because it's going to go flying, which is the exact same thing that would happen to the ocean on a ball that was spinning super fast. Now, before I dive into these scriptures about the earth being steady and unmovable, I'm going to show you guys some pictures I took at the beach. Okay? There's a few of them. Let me blow this up. All right. So what you're looking at here is a screenshot, because what I wanted to do was I put the grid on my phone. So what about gravity? I mean, me personally, I know I stick to the earth, and so I don't need gravity to be. I don't know. I'm not a scientist. All I know is what they say causes gravity doesn't cause gravity. That's all I can tell you for sure. I will say this: it's really. You don't need to know what gravity is to understand what I'm trying to say. To like show you can understand this without needing to have a scientific knowledge of gravity. Because I'm just showing you things that you can see with your own eyes. Okay, these are all pictures that I took. So what I want you to see here is that this is a print. I took a screenshot because I wanted to put the grid on my phone so you could see. Now you can see that I'm holding it at exactly 0 degrees, perfectly flat, perfectly level. You can see this line here is perfectly level with the ocean. I took other pictures with it closer. Okay, look at that. You couldn't make it any straighter than it is. Now, look at how fine that is. Okay, this one's a little off at an angle, but you can, there you go. See, it's flat. So I know what a lot of people say to me, listen, the water's flat, but the earth is curved. Okay, well, the earth is 71% water, they tell us, which is 17 backwards, just FYI. So does that mean that 3/4 of the earth or 70% of the earth is flat and that the 30% is curved? Because that doesn't make any sense. So as you can see here, this and we've all seen this. Yes, gravity is just a theory. Absolutely. We've all seen this with our own eyes. Okay, that there is no. Yes, exactly. Yeah, you guys are right. Gravity is just something to make us think, to believe in what they're telling us. Just like the Big Bang, okay? If you believe in space, that means that you believe everything in space, okay? And what they want you to believe is that there's hundreds of billions of galaxies. All right, let me just give you a scale here. So our Earth, okay, they want us to believe that there's 7 planets, well, including Earth, that would be 8, rotating around our sun, which is, they call a star. Now, in our one galaxy, okay, so just imagine how much mass is involved with just what they want us to believe is in our solar system. Now, take into consideration that they want us to believe that there are hundreds of billions of stars in our galaxy. So just think of all the mass that's in that. Then they want you to believe that there's hundreds of billions of those in space. and the one that we have is just a little guy. And some of them have trillions of stars in them. Okay, so just I can't even wrap my head around how much stuff that is. And they want you to believe that it all came from nothing. Okay? The Big Bang is everything coming from nothing. Okay? Not even the biggest tree on earth came from nothing. It started as a seed. Nothing comes from nothing. Okay? Nothing is nothing. It doesn't all of a sudden become something. That's why it's called nothing. Because it's nothing. There is no matter. There's no way. And then they say that CERN says, oh, well, we recreated the Big Bang and found the God particle. Oh, you recreated the Big Bang? How exactly did you do that? Oh, by ramming particles together. Okay, so you're recreating the Big Bang by ramming particles together, but the Big Bang thought came from nothing. But here you are taking two somethings, smashing them together to make smaller somethings, calling that the Big Bang, but didn't the Big Bang come from nothing? This is all pseudoscience. It's all lies. It's so crazy. So I just wanted to throw that in there. Well, time's going by quick tonight. All right, I'll skip right ahead then, because I want to show you guys something. That's pretty awesome. I think I covered mostly all this stuff, so that's good. All right, so let me show you these pictures here. All right, and I want to... All right, these are from my work and vacation I went on in Indiana this summer when I went to see the Ark and all kinds of stuff. So let me show you what the scriptures for this first. All right, so here's the scriptures that say the four corners of the earth. Okay, here's another one that says the four corners of the earth. So let me close these. I'm sorry, I'm just trying to stay more organized so I can get through this a little quicker. So here's your four corners of the earth. Okay, this is exactly what it's talking about. And then Psalms 104:5 says, who laid the foundations of the earth, that it should not be removed forever. So, here are the foundations of the earth. These are the pillars. This is the deep down here. Okay? This is the waters above, and these are the waters below. Maybe I could just click that and get out of the way. All right, I'll do this way. So, second day of creation, Genesis 1, let there be a firmament in the midst of the waters, and let it divide the waters from the waters. So, we essentially are in like a fish tank or a terrarium. Okay? There's waters above and waters below. God divided the water from the water which were under the firmament from the waters which were above the firmament, and it was so. On the third day he said, let the waters under the heaven be gathered together unto one place. So under the heaven, that's under the firmament. And let dry land appear, and it was so. And God called the dry land earth, and the gathering together of the waters called he seas. Okay, so there's our ocean and our land under the firmament, separating us from the waters above. Now, this is just showing us that the moon and the sun and the stars are not things that we can get to and hop on. They're not balls, they're just lights. Let there be lights in the firmament of heaven to divide the day from the night. Let there be for signs, for seasons, for days and years. And let them be for lights in the firmament of the heaven, and give light upon the earth. And it was so. And God made two great lights, the greater light to rule the day, and the lesser light to rule the night. He made the stars also. And God set them in the firmament of heaven to give light upon the earth, and to rule over the day and over the night, and to divide the light from darkness. So if we go into Genesis Strong's and look at the word lights, okay, this is 3974, which I've pulled up here. 3974, Mayor. It means a luminary. Not a ball. Not something we can go land on. Okay, the moon is a light. It's a clock light. It's not a sphere that we can go land on. Bright light, lighting, lights, shining. Okay? This is the moon and the sun. They're not balls, they're lights. They're discs. 1 Chronicles 16:30, fear before him all the earth. The world also shall be stable, that it be not moved. Okay? Psalms 93, the Lord reigneth. He is clothed with majesty. The Lord is clothed with strength, wherewith he hath girded himself. The world also is established, that it cannot be moved. You'll see why I'm showing you these cave pictures in a minute. I'm just trying to show you that many times the scriptures say that the earth is immovable. It doesn't move. Say among the heathen that the Lord reigneth. The world shall be established, that it shall not be moved. And he shall judge his people righteously. So now let me show you the pictures of this cave. What you're seeing here on the ground, where I'm showing you with this mouse, this is the roof of the cave. What you're looking at is a reflection of this wall and this roof in the water. Okay, this is called the mirror pool. Okay, this isn't the ground. This is the roof, the ceiling of the cave. This is the edge of it right here. Okay, this is all water in this. This is water. But look at how still that is. There is no way that you would see this on a moving object. Okay? See this walkway? On the other side of this, this is all water coming up to this rim right here where I'm moving the mouse. Okay? And then all you see here is a reflection of the roof. You can see it if you look closely at some of these structures. You can see that this one is right here. This one is right here. This one's right here. This is the roof. This is the ceiling. But it looks like the floor, because it's so perfectly still. If the earth were flying through space around the sun, trying to catch it, spinning around at 66,600 miles per hour, there would be shaking here. There would be vibrations and ripples and waves. It would not be still. This is not how moving objects act. Okay, motion creates motion. Oh, that's just me taking a picture at that same thing. Look at this. This is the ceiling. You can't see one ripple in this thing. It looks just like a mirror. It looks like glass reflecting off of the ceiling. Okay, this is not what anything in motion would do. If you threw a rock in this, that would be motion, and it would ripple all around and come back, and it would vibrate around for a little while, because that's what motion does. It vibrates. It shakes. It rolls. Check this out. You see how still this water is? Do you know how hard it is to get water this still? Like, you only in a cave, because even wind would ruin this reflection. But there's no wind in this cave. It's completely cold and dry and still. And this looks like the ground. I mean, when I was there looking at this, my mind was blown. I was like, that is crazy because it's the most awesome reflection I've ever seen. Here's more. Like, this looks like it goes down into the ground, does it not? Looks like a ledge that goes down. But it's a reflection of what's up top here. You can see this little shadow here. It's right here. It was absolutely crazy. And it was pretty awesome. So this is proof that the earth does not move. That it is sturdy, it's stable, it's not going anywhere. Okay? Yeah, these pictures were really cool. This cave was awesome. I saw a lot of cool stuff when I was out there traveling. And I got to do a video about the old world buildings I saw, because I stopped in a few towns and cities just to take pictures of buildings. So this is called Marengo Cave. I'll actually do a video about this too, because every place I went to was some kind of portal into deception. It was nuts. Everywhere I went, I couldn't even believe it. I just want to make sure I covered everything. Pretty sure I did. Oh, no. There's one more thing. So I talk about the analemma a lot because the sun and the moon make an 88, right? If you're whipping through space like this, okay, let me put play here so we can see this again. If this is how the system's supposed to be, okay, this is chaos, you guys. It's absolutely unpredictable. It's absolute chaos. You cannot guarantee that there's not going to be a difference or an adjustment or something's going to be thrown out of whack, or but using their own science I'm talking about. But if you take a picture, right, this is the definition of the analemma. It's a diagram showing the position of the sun in the sky as seen from a fixed location on Earth at the same mean solar time as position varies over the course of a year. The diagram will resemble a figure 8. Globes of Earth often display an analemma as a two-dimensional figure equation in time or a declination of the sun. So, anyways, if you take a picture in the same direction, this is what they're talking about on the globes, the actual like spinny globes you get in your house. This is what it looks like on the Earth, probably being taken from somewhere over here. Okay, so you can see here we have the southern solstice and northern solstice. You can see the dates as it travels around, comes back around. Now, if we were on a globe, this would not be possible. Not only would it not be possible, but it sure wouldn't be possible with the sun and the moon. Okay? If I click on images, you can see clearly there's the sun, okay, and the moon. Here's the moon. Here's the sun. You can see they both make a figure 8. This would be an impossibility. There's so many things that cannot be explained by pseudoscience, but this is because we're not taught how to think in school. We're taught how to memorize the narrative. Ooh, excuse me. We're taught how to memorize the narrative. Okay? Whoever can memorize all the stuff the teacher's telling you will get the best grades. And you become the best rememberer in the whole class. Now, this explains to me why I never did I could do school and I was great in math, but I never liked school. Okay? It just never sat right with me. And now I kind of have an understanding as to why. Because they're just trying to teach me lies. And and everything that they teach you is a lie. The only thing that makes any sense at all that they teach is math. And then when you start getting into the weird math, then it stops making sense because they make math up to explain space, to explain all these beliefs, okay, which is all fake. So you have to have something fake to interpret something fake. You can't have something real interpret something fake because then you'll discover that it's not real. So you need fake math to calculate fake problems. This is why every telescope, I don't know, I'm sure many of you know this, but the big telescopes, not the ones we can go by, but the big observatory telescopes, they don't even give you an image. They give you a huge series of numbers, and then by math that they make up, they make all these little equations and they feed that into an algorithm, and then that makes a graphic design of supposedly what is being seen. This stuff is absolutely insane. So I just wanted to come on here today, you guys, and share this stuff with you so that you could have a true understanding. Not that you don't, okay? As I said, this is for everybody. I know many of us understand that this is what God's creation looks like, and many of us don't. As I said, I don't believe this is a salvational issue. Can I guarantee that? No, I can't. I can't guarantee anything. I do know the Lord wants us to worship Him in spirit and in truth, and this is the truth. And so I'm trying to give people that may not understand this truth, because, as I said, this unlocked everything for me. Okay? One day I was like, what? People think the earth is flat? The sun stood still and the moon... Yes, exactly. Yep. Right. The sun stood still, which would be completely impossible, right? If it was out in space and the earth spinning, it couldn't sit still. But because it's right here, over the earth, it stood still. And I believe it even was called back to a certain point. So, heaven and earth hasted not to go down. Yes, exactly. So this is what it looks like. And when I was, as I said, I was one day saying, I can't believe people think the earth is flat. And then, the next day, I was given this understanding. And it blew my mind. And then I started to see things. Like I was showing you, the shadows of the chemtrails, the sundogs, the rainbow, the arcs of the rocket shooting up into space. Or, not what I mean. That they're supposedly putting up in space. I started seeing the ocean being flat. Everything just started... My whole mind just opened up to all these things I had seen and understood under the pseudoscience, but now they started to come open to me in the real world, into God's truth. And I could see so clearly that, oh my goodness, this is exactly what the earth looks like. It is flat, and they rub it in our faces. I'll show you real quick, and then I'll let you guys go. Like, alright, look. They put it in your faces. Here's the United Nations. Look, that's a flat earth. And look at the moon is going around the outer edge with its phases. Okay? They know exactly what's going on. And there's more symbols. There's a lot of them that have this flat earth symbolism. The UN is just one of them. I think that the one that involves money, as you can see, I follow the government real well and the world governments. Um, the World Economic Forum. I think they have something like this. But anyways, so I need a drink. I was choking there for a minute. They know this stuff, and just in case you don't know, if you look at this symbol here, there are 33. It's divided up into 33 sections. Let me see. Who else has this logo? I'm just going to look real quick. Logos of government that use flat earth. I mean, somebody probably did like a, what you call it? Oh yeah, see? Knew somebody would put it all together. So United Nations. Yeah, this has 33 pieces. So there's these slots make 32, and then the circle in the center is 33. Masonic. Oh, and I wanted to show you this. I just got one more thing. Sorry, I forget. I had a whole bunch of pictures. Let's see. Last thing out of my photo album. Check this out. Here's SpaceX. Or Space Force. Right? Look at that. There's your Baphomet. See? Boom, boom. There's the star. There's the star. There's the head. There's the head. Here's the horns. See it? So, space is fake. Google Nemo's circle. I won't cover it. I'll just show you real quick. So Nemo's circle, and then I'll let you go, because unless you guys want to talk, that's fine. I'll stay and talk. All right, Nemo's circle. Oh, not that Nemo. Let's see. I'll just say rocket graveyard, I guess. I don't know what they call it, to be honest with you. Oh, spacecraft cemetery. My bad. So, Point Nemo. Oh, that's what they call it. Point Nemo. Here we go. Let's see. So if you look into this, because you'll want to see this. So here you go. This is Point Nemo right here. This is where they shoot the rockets. Okay? This is where all the rockets go. There are hundreds and hundreds of rockets in this spot. They arc up. They go across the firmament, like I showed you in this picture. Okay, this thing is headed to Point Nemo. That's where they're all going, to Point Nemo. You don't know why? Because nobody can see Point Nemo. When the rocket comes down, it's out of fuel, it's not burning, it's not a light, it's just a projectile coming down, splashing into the ocean. Go ahead and look into this on your own time and check it out, because it is full of rockets. Point Nemo is used as a spacecraft graveyard by Russians, Americans, Europeans, Japanese. More than 263 pieces of junk have crash landed there since 1971. And that's where they're going to crash the space station. Now, oh look, in 2024. Okay? Remember the scripture that said, when you exalt yourself as the eagle, but when you put your nest among the stars, then I will bring you down. Okay, well, that nest is never-ending surveillance technology. That is Elon's Starlink. And now look, all of a sudden next year, in the year that I just showed you in that video, is going to be the beginning of the end. The space station's coming down, which is completely fake anyways. So, just some stuff to look into. if you guys want. Very interesting stuff. But the more you look into all of this stuff, the more you realize that it's all a lie. Isn't that where they got the clock idea from flat? Yeah, probably. Yeah, because it's all based off of the moon and the sun rotating around. So the moon is like the timepiece. It gives you the weeks and the seasons and the days. And then, of course, the sun and the moon mark days. But yeah, because they turn and alternate. And so that is the original timepiece. That's why it said in Genesis that it was to divide the days and the months and the years and the seasons so that we could know what time it was. And now we have, clocks. So yeah, good call. But that's exactly what these things are. It's a timepiece. This is the Lord's footstool. Okay? So I hope you guys enjoyed this presentation. I hope that anybody that watches it, I pray your eyes be opened. If you do not believe in this creation and you believe in the solar system and the heliocentric model, I pray that your eyes be opened to this reality and that you glean from it, because as I said, I can't say this is for everybody, but for me personally, this unlocked my whole world. It really did. Literally, no pun intended. Like, this unlocked everything in my mind. And after, I used to be one of those people who watched the universe. Like, I used to buy the seasons of the universe and watch everything about physics and ancient aliens and all this stuff. I used to be into that stuff. But as soon as this reality came for me and this truth, as soon as I had the understanding of this truth, just like that, I stopped believing in space. I stopped believing in all the stuff. And I was into it. And just like that, I let it go because I knew that it was a lie in my spirit. I just knew it was a lie and there was no reason to hang on to it anymore. And so just like that, I put it away and started to dig into the truth. And this is what happened. I have a channel now. And hundreds of videos and subscribers are coming in. I appreciate all you guys. I appreciate all your support. I'm glad to see that people are starting to pour in. You can tell we're getting to the end. It's getting dark quick. People are hunting for truth, and I pray that you guys keep sharing this channel and these videos, and that people keep coming and receiving the truth and giving God the glory, because it's His. So I thank you all for joining me. I appreciate you guys, chatting it up in the comment section. Yeah, that's really all I got for you guys today. So I hope you enjoy this presentation. I hope that people, I hope you share it. And if you believe in the globe, I hope that you take some of this stuff into consideration and try to answer some of the questions I asked about the shadows and the triangulation and the analemma and things of that nature. Try to explain it to yourself. Don't think about what you've been taught. Just pretend you don't know anything and try to explain it to yourself scientifically, because that is when your mind will start to break through these deceptions. Because if you are trying to solve it the way they give you their narrative, you're never going to solve it. So that's what I got. Thank you guys for coming. And I pray that you receive this message with open ears and an open heart. And I have more videos coming soon, so be on the lookout. Thank you for all the support. on the new videos I've been making. They're blowing up. You guys are really watching this stuff. And so I'm so blessed. I'm so blessed to be able to be on here and to reach out to you guys and to have you guys reach out to others and to communicate with me. And we got a nice fellowship going on here, and I just love it. And I thank the Father and the Lord Jesus, and I'm just so blessed that I'm able to even be here with you guys, and that the Lord shares this kind of wisdom with me, and that I can share it with others, and it's a beautiful thing. The Father loves us, Jesus loves us, the Holy Ghost fills us. You can't get any better than that. So, till next time, you guys, God bless, and